you've had a wank, and now you play Call of Duty, and your mates go off for dinner, you have a wank.
You had a client come in who'd been told something by a doctor, and you were like, oh, that's really bad advice.
Yeah.
Don't do that, try this.
Yes.
So listen to this, because I think a lot of people trust in doctors and don't understand that a lot of the GPs and people you see do not train, aren't healthy themselves.
It hits 2 a.m, you have a wank, and you go to bed. And that is you for 6 weeks.
CREWCast. 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 Give it up for the CREWCast!
So when you wake up, so when you train good leg session, you wake up next day like, oh, well, this is interesting. This is me now for the next 48 hours.
I like that feeling though, it's like you've earned the tiredness. I've just been waking up after like 7 or 8 hours sleep and being like, you know when you blink and then you wake up? You know, that's the shittest sleep ever. I don't know what it is.
Do you know what it is? They did some research, and basically it's called having a kid.
Oh, right, yeah. No, I can't.
Being a little bitch comes next if you carry on with these excuses.
I can't have that excuse though, because B has a little one most of the day whilst that. I'll tell you what it is, too much screen time. Sat at the Sat at the laptop too long.
Hello, Bashi.
Hello, Bashi.
Bashi. Bashi.
And I think, honestly, I've just been grinding out like 10-hour days at the laptop, and it fucks you up. It's not good for you. It's not healthy. But you know, you can't walk away though, because then I got the guilt that I'm wasting time that I could just be sat there working. But
It's just seen your cross.
Lightning McQueen,
It's
bro.
it's like glowing. I called my eye, I was like, I look in this little gap. I was like, what the hell is that? 95.
Yeah, that's lightning. I can run real fast in these. Sports mode.
Run away from your responsibilities.
Yeah, aren't they cool?
Yeah.
100% pure AliExpress.
Right, so when I walked in today to Lex's house on the casting couch, before we got on here, I had so much to talk about, but we paused.
Yeah, you're not allowed to talk about it when you come in.
We stopped, to save it for the podcast.
Save it for the pod. That's it. So,
Pod?
on the pod.
We don't even speak to each other. Pod? Pod?
Pod. That's how I knew you were tired as well when I messaged you, because you just sent back pod. I was like, yes, thank you.
Yeah, Lex sent me a paragraph. I said, pod?
Yeah, literally.
Eat it, pod.
We do have a topic for today. It's a pretty cool one, and it is involving inflammation, bulging discs, and general recovery things as to why you shouldn't listen to your doctor. That's right, but this is not medical advice. Do still go to doctors if you feel like you're going to perish. But prior to that, there's also something more important you need to know about, and that is the refresh rates of TV screens.
Oh, yes. Right, so let's tell you a story about the MacBook first.
Foundation of it, we both freed up some money to buy new laptops to invest in our editing etiquette. What did you buy with your laptop money, Mitch?
So I was going to buy the MacBook, but instead I bought a PS5, a TV, and a soundboard. But worth it.
Such a man thing to do.
It was so funny.
It's like when I get sent out to go shopping and I come back with a wicker owl.
When I bought it, the guy said, so how come you got all this? I said, my missus is away all week, so he starts slapping his ass. I just to play this all week. She'd come back like, what the fuck? No, so I was going to get the MacBook, but my heart felt I should get the PS5, the huge TV and the soundboard. But there is reason behind it.
Yeah, because your heart was a small child inside.
No, it's not. No, the reason behind it is it was a huge tech update for me. You got to remember the last time I bought a PS. My last thing is obviously a PS4, but I had that for about 10 years. Okay,
It's been out that long?
I don't know, but around that.
That's
And my TV, I had that when I moved out, which was about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then never had a soundboard in my life.
Did you do the diddly doodly thing? So when I went in to do the soundbar, I was like, I want a soundbar, and I told him what it was for. And the dude was like, I've got this one. He went, you don't need this one. He said, this is massive overkill. He said, so it's like one step down from the peak one. And he did this thing And he goes, it's like it lets you experience the Atmos, because that's an Atmos soundbar, which means it throws sound around the room like you've got surround sound.
Yeah.
This throws the sound, so it
Yeah.
sounds like it's behind you. Something. It's mad. I don't know how it does it.
Crazy.
He puts this little thing on and he goes, listen to this. And this is the most man thing, right? This sums up men in one thing, okay? He hits the button and this thing goes,
Yes.
and it's firing it around. We both look at each other. I look at him like, whoa. And he's just looking at me going, yeah.
He goes, Daddy, chill. Daddy, chill.
It was so good. I was like, sold. And then the dude was legendary. He was like, oh, you get £100 off this if you bought a TV from us as well in the last month. And he went, you bought a TV from us in the last month, didn't you? I went, yes, I did. He went, perfect. I can give you the £100 off then.
Honestly,
Legend.
it's worth an investment because, well, let's talk about the universe. When they kept going to buy the Mac, and obviously it just kept like not working, they'd be like, "Oh, error on the page," and then
You have such patience for some things and zero.
yeah, I know,
tolerance
no,
for
because I ain't got time for that shit because I'm working I get hour gaps in my day because of work appointments.
Yeah.
So I'm like, right, I ain't got fucking time for that. I'm not meant to buy this Mac. So then I had this spare money, and I was like, well, I bet I've lost some credit score. I may as well fucking, make use of that lost credit score now.
What do people with a low credit score do? Game.
No, I haven't got a low credit score. I just lost these points.
Yeah,
I thought,
I know.
no, well,
I'm playing.
I've lost these points for no reason, so now I may as well fucking make reason why I've lost these points. So I said, right, my PS4 was about 10 years old, playing Call of Duty, getting absolutely battered, on Call of Duty because I didn't realise until I got a PS5 why I was getting battered. But, so I bought the PS5, that came, okay, but on the same day I thought, I'm uptown, may as well go to Digiland. Digiland I got recommended the day before. Didn't know about Digiland until that day.
I didn't know about Digital until right now.
Fucking brilliant. And obviously I wanted to give this guy a review. Adam, you are top man, yeah? You sold me that TV with the best ability and I love it. But basically, then he explained to me about refresh rates and said, okay, you got 50 to 60 hertz, which is your standard. Then obviously you go to 114, 144.
Is that like nerd level?
Yeah, no, honestly, this is good to know. This is actually good content. So, ideally in this day and age, a 55-inch is solid for your living room. Then you want to get a ULED TV because...
You're saying ULED, that's OLED.
Yeah, OLED, ULED, which is...
Are they the same thing?
No, I think OLED's better. One of them, OLED, ULED, I'll get a mixed
Either
up.
way, they're low energy, but good blacks.
Yeah, the blacks. You want the blacks.
We need the blacks.
So basically, I saw this one in the corner, and it was Hisense. Is it Hisense?
Oh, yeah, they're all right.
Yeah. And I said, damn, what's this one? He goes, oh, I didn't know this was here. He goes, well, that's 55-inch. It's got the highest refresh rate. It's got gaming mode compatibility. So when you put your PS5 on it, it sets the settings for it, yeah. If I was to get that same spec as Samsung, it probably would have cost 800 quid.
Yeah.
Okay? And because Digiland is sick, yeah, so all they have ones where you take them back.
It's a customer return
Customer
centre.
return, yeah.
So basically, if you open a box on anything and take it back, they cannot legally resell that as new again. So they get all these things that you return or Amazon get shipped off to these places who buy them in bulk or in auctions and then sell them on.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's not more of these places.
They're fucking amazing. Well, they're old school, ain't they? Like, back in the day when
There used to be Curry's clearance, which was banging. And you used to be able to get fridges, washing machines. I kitted out my home with one of those
upstairs
ones.
at Curry's, yeah.
For like 2/3 of the cost.
So badass. And literally I got £150 off this TV just because of that. Then I bought the TV outright. Then I went to him, right, I'm probably going to buy a sound bar, because I saw this one sound bar. He goes, yeah, it's going to cost you £100. It's going to get one speaker, though. And I said, sick. I said, right, let's get that. I'll buy that now. Then he goes to buy this, because I bought the sound bar straight away, boom, and he's getting the TV ready. Then he says to his mate, let's go get the sound bar. I'm waiting for a little bit. I said to him, mate, I've got to go in 10. I said, I've got a PT to go do. And he's like, okay, cool, we'll be 5 minutes. Comes back and goes, mate, the soundbar you just bought, the only one we've got has got a scratch on it, so we can't give you that one because it's not fair. So we gave you an upgrade.
Nice.
He goes, take this one. I said,
did you secretly go around scratching the soundbars?
and I said, because you bought a bundle, the TV, we'll give you this one as an upgrade anyway, so take that with you. So now I've gone from a PS4, a shitty TV, with shitty sound. Now imagine your laptop speaker.
Do you know what I'm seeing? You plugging all this in. So you sit down in your little chair and you turn it on. And it's one of those scenes where the thing just goes, and your hair and everything goes back and you go, whoa, from the Sky advert or whatever it was.
No, bro.
That's what I imagine.
It was. So basically, yeah, I was there. My mum was like, because it was my sister's birthday, and she's like, Mitchell, are you coming round? I'm trying to set this shit up. It took me fucking an hour to set this up. Because obviously it's new tech, isn't it? It's more things to process.
Yeah.
Set the PS5 up, then that fucking step-by-step shit. Did all that, put the TV on, set up the soundbar, connected it, I bought Call of Duty, play, the loading screen of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa. I was like, what? I sat there recording. Yeah.
You recorded
I've
your
had a
moment.
I've had about 10-year tech upgrade, haven't I? There,
Yeah.
so I've gone.
It's like you just stepped out of a cave and seen a car
that's
for
what
the
it was.
first time.
I still sit on the chair that's folded away, and it's like it's a metal chair.
So you need to go upgrade your chair now.
Honestly, I was there like, wow. And then I started playing Call of Duty. The colours, the speed, like I'm playing better. I'm fucking top of the leaderboards now. The reason I'm so shit, because the refresh rate was so shit, and the TV quality was crap, and it's PS4, so everything's slower. So when you're playing a fast-paced game, and you've got this upstate fucking system, you're just like, wow, this is why I'm not actually shit. So here's one for you guys. All you Call of Duty players 10 years ago, played Call of Duty 4, used to play game battles, used to play clan matches and smashes, and used to be top of leaderboards, and you play again now and you think you're shit. It's not that. It's because you're behind on tech. Upgrade your tech and you will play better than all of them. It's nuts.
That short 20-minute story of
It's not. They're going to love this because they're going to be like, I'm not shit at COD.
I am shit. I can't stand COD. There's too many nerds who play it. They all run and jump, spinning off building tops and stuff, and land and don't die. I don't like the unrealism of it. I've never been able to get into it. Never. I love the story mode. Cannot abide the fucking online thing.
You never played it when you were like a kid. That's why. You're in year 7 at school. You get up on 6 weeks holiday. You've had a wank, and now you play Call of Duty, and then your mates go off for dinner. You have a wank. You go back on and play Call of Duty. It hits 2 a.m. You have a wank, and you go to bed. And that is you for 6 weeks. Okay. You didn't experience that, and that's what made men today.
Okay. Yeah. No, I didn't do that.
You didn't do it, did you? That's why you're not good.
Yeah.
The commitment,
I didn't
brother.
wank enough in between.
Wolf Wall Street says you got to feed the geese, man.
So next time you're struggling, guys, in the gym or at work, nip off, have a wank.
Stressfully. Obviously, don't do it anymore. But
Right.
back then, down.
From that to why should we ignore doctor's advice on a bulging disc? Coming from the two blokes that brought you wanker break.
It makes sense, though, because you're stressed as hell on card and you're like, right, time to fucking regenerate. Come back, a whole new mindset. I need to explain about Matt as well, because this is fucking hilarious.
About what?
About Matt.
Right.
I hope Matt's watching this.
What about Matt?
So me and Matt start doing TikTok live, yeah? I didn't know about this.
Yeah, so
I
Matt...
did not know about this.
Matt, who you will see in the vlogs when we get them over to Mitch's place, because there's going to be the thing I talked about months ago about doing, which is going to be called intoxicating masculinity. Matt is, he competes in strongman events and is just randomly super strong. Like, there's just, everything about Matt shouldn't scream, I can lift Atlas stones and cars and throw kegs over bars, but he just does and can and is insane with it. Like, he is autistically committed to strongman, but he's natty too, which is a big thing.
So put things in perspective. So I'm 81 kilos. My max deadlift is 235 kilos. Matthew is about 85 kilos. His max deadlift is 285 kilos.
Yeah, of raw, unadulterated, fuck you, I'm not going to fail this.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad. And when you watch him, it's even in real time. It's just insane.
We were watching it in real time. He's in slow tone. Like, so it takes a gap. But
I watched him grind out a 20+ second deadlift. That time when he was coming in towards competition, was working up to maxes, and there was like 3 points of failure that he just refused to quit.
It was like RPE 10, RPE 11, RPE 12, RPE 14.
RPE error, just error.
He just goes, yeah, and walks off.
He walks off after most people's spines would have just gone bing, 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 bing.
So we started doing live in the massage room.
That sound dodgy, though.
No, honestly, the amount of fucking trolls we get. I'm trying to massage Matt and look very professional, and so Matt's very, because look, when I first was on the camera, I was really awkward, didn't know how to present myself. You got a little bit of guard up. It's a little bit, it's weird speaking to a camera.
Yeah.
Then you get relaxed like you are now. So what was interesting was you just see the difference between someone who is so used to speak to the camera, in podcasts, and then someone who's not, and you have to remember when I used to be like that.
Yeah.
Were you like that?
No.
Oh, okay. You don't like.
Oh, obviously, I wasn't as free as I am now, obviously, but I've always, prior to doing stuff, especially like the bodybuilding, when I was doing all that, the whole natty bodybuilding era of that I did, that was a very much like, I didn't want to go on that stage in small pants, but you have to, and that's what you're doing. So I had a very much like, I don't know these fucking people. I'm not going to see these fucking people again. Fuck it, let's go. And I had a very much of a fuck it attitude. So I developed, yeah. I won a few of the regionals, and then I came third, I think, in like the national. And when I got to national, but the problem with the natty thing was the weight categories were so fucking huge. There was a 10 kilo gap in weight categories.
Oh my God.
It's retarded, clinically retarded, that is. So like, if I crept over into the next category, I was dwarfed by like people 10 kilos heavier than me.
Yeah.
Because I would only sneak through in a lower level of like, say it was 72 to 82. I would be like 72 point something. So I'd always have to try and keep my weight just under that cap.
Yeah.
But when I got to the national level, I crept over and just like, I was stood against dudes I should not have been stood against. They were just big boys, you know, bigger boys.
So you went.
So when I was in the regionals, I was managed to stay in my category. Then when I went through to the national, because you qualify through on the regionals, won those. And by the time I got to the nationals, the weight categories were so broad that I ended up being I was like 72 kilos, and the next lightest guy in my category was 78.
Wow. It's like with powerlifters, if you're cutting down to hit a weight category below, you are tending to be a lot more stronger than the guy trying to come up. Mm-hmm. So you're meeting from...
They just need to dial categories in more. It's just a ridiculous levels from like from base to upper. Anyway, so why are we on that? Oh, did I ever feel nervous? Yeah, so the fuck it attitude very much came in on those bodybuilding competitions because, it's nerve-wracking. You're going out onto a stage, literally just covering your dick, covered in Ronseal wood stain, to go out, to pose, to be judged by some old blokes staring at you. There's not some sexy ladies looking at you, judging you. No, it's a load of blokes in suits staring at you while she's pulling these poses. So I gained a lot from doing those in terms of the fuck it attitude, and also the theory of, I don't know these people, I'm probably not even see them again. So what does it matter? So that really helped me along the way, definitely. So in terms of that, it definitely helped. But also I think there is a natural thing where people understand how you need to be on camera, and it is to cartoonize yourself. Because what comes across on there is probably 20% delayed. This is the thing. So people think like, everyone wants to be an influencer, everyone wants to do these things. But how many people do you see now who rarely speak and all they are is a visual, and they have like a voiceover over the top that's not even their voice, or they're mimicking somebody else's voice, like miming. It's all over the shop. Like if you're on Instagram or TikTok, a lot of people don't even speak with the real voice. They're doing constant like silly voices or using voiceovers from other things that they're miming against.
Oh. Really?
All the time when they'll use something else, or they'll write stuff on the screen and it'll just be music playing. So there's this whole generation now of people who aren't even decent on camera.
Yeah.
Blowing up on things.
Yeah, I know what you mean now. I can't.
It's getting more and more talentless.
The great thing is you have to differentiate the difference between, are you here to build awareness or are you here to build a brand? And then when you build a brand, they create a character then, don't they?
Yeah.
So, and it's cringy as shit, because when some people are promoting some deep stuff, you're just like, brother, you're fake as fuck.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the nature of it, though, isn't it? And the problem is people are now wanting to be a branded influencer. And yeah, I know. That takes the fun out of it for me. It takes the fun out of it a little bit. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Carry on being you. Do you. Get on camera. You'll get better. Don't worry about it. It's all a trial and error. And sometimes the awkwardness could be your thing. So let's get to the crutch of this one, which is which is after we get our tangents.
This could be its own podcast itself.
They all know we tangent. This is the nature of this one. It's a tangent-based podcast. We will eventually get to the title.
Someone said, though, which is clever, to put in timestamps.
Yeah, we're going to do that. It's just I love more work. Yeah,
Part
please.
1, intro. An hour.
Part 2, Mitchell. Part 3 minutes at the end, subject.
Okay, all right, now we switch to.
So this is actually quite a good one, though. So we'll finish on the more sensible scientific stuff, and that is the fact that, right, so you yourself have a bulging disc. You had a client come in who'd been told something by a doctor, and you're like, oh, that's really bad advice.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Try this.
Yes.
So listen to this, because I think a lot of people trust in doctors and don't understand that a lot of the GPs and people you see do not train, aren't healthy themselves. I've had literally morbidly obese doctors when I've walked into certain clinics with an issue, and I'm like, oh, you're not my person to talk to. Like, if you can't look after yourself and be shit, how the fuck are you going to know that what I'm sensing and feeling and capable of within my training and within my life? Because you haven't even experienced basics of it. Yeah. So, yeah, go on. So you had a guy come in with a bulging disc, and he said he was bad. He was hobbling.
Just go back to what you said. Obviously, listen, there are brilliant doctors out there and there are shit doctors out there. What we're trying to say is, just because they got the title doctor doesn't mean you have to know they're speaking gospel. Do your due diligence, like, you take on their advice and then do your own research as well, so you get your own take on it. Because people just said, well, the doctor told me to jump off the cliff, so I did.
Yeah.
And now I've got a broken leg. But because he's a doctor, I listened to him.
And I do believe a lot of GPs especially get bored. And if it's not their specialty, they do just palm you off on a basic handout of, here's an anti-inflammatory, here's an antidepressant, here's a fucking painkiller, and just get you out the door. And if there's any problems, they're like, the theory is, well, they'll come back.
Well, it's the same for sport masseuses. There's shit out there and there's good out there.
Yeah.
Someone will say, people have sciatica, they go, oh yeah, just, stretch your toes. And you're like, what? Yeah, and then they go, well, my sports masseuse said this. Then your wife's there saying, that's fucking ridiculous. And then you'll go, no, the sports masseuse said this. You're going off ego, you're going off their title. Going back to what happened.
Just before you do that, I will say that there are amazing ones. I was lucky when I got my surgery done. I ended up getting an amazing guy who went out of his way to get me into surgery quickly. So there are amazing people there. You just have to do the work to push through to get them. Because what I've learned through the medical system, in the UK anyway, is don't take what they say as your choice. You have a choice to push further. So you can say, no, I'm not happy with that. I'd like to be put forward for something different. And if you push for it, they will actually do it. It's just that they're not allowed to give it off their own backs. But if you push, they can't deny you. So always just push. Yeah, go on.
So
a hobble-gobbling came in.
Fucking hell. Right. So basically, this is what happened. Guy walks in with me. He walks in limping. We're walking like an old man. He's a bit younger than me.
Actually limping or like
He's
curved
walking
over?
like, his ass is fucking up underneath his flipping toes. He's walking like an old man and he's a shit.
How old is he?
Like 25.
Oh, bloody hell. All right.
No, he's similar age to me. Like
Mid-20s.
28, 29. So what happened was he walked in. I thought, okay, cool. He's in a bad way. So then I got him in the bed and said, right, mate, listen.
Right, mate, listen. Get your glutes out.
Right, everyone doesn't know I'm a sports masseuse. Okay, so I did some assessments, checked some movements. So he was okay, but he's really struggling to move. Then I got him on the massage bed and said, listen, poked around, sees any nerve pain there, any shooting pain there. Is that okay? It was all fine. Okay. So then I thought, right, he's probably, he might have piriformis syndrome. That will mimic sciatica, because what happens is it's the muscle that's super tight and compressed on the sciatic nerve, which causes this irritation down your leg. And it's really uncomfortable. So
for those that don't know, the sciatic nerve sits basically around you, kind of above around your tailbone area. There's a huge bundle of nerves there, and it's within between your hips. I don't know the best way to describe it. Like just above your butt crack, in between your hips, in around that area. There's a huge amount of big nerve bundle, so you can have muscle tightness there. You can catch it. It can cause nerves firing off. Obviously, you can have actual nerve damage there. There can be issues coming up from all the way up through your hamstrings that can cause problems with it, because it's better than an epicenter of a nerve junction, isn't it?
It's huge. You're watching now. It's about that thick. The sciatic nerve is massive. Like I said, it's a bundle of nerves that come together. Hence why, hence why. You can feel sensations in your ankle, in your tibia, or in your toes, because it's coming from the sciatic nerve, because it's a bundle of nerves.
That's the epicenter. It spreads up and down the body. Yeah.
So, right, something's in my throat. Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, so something's tickling my throat.
Tickle him, tickle him, tickle him.
So, okay. I need some water, bro.
You're right, good girl. Yeah, one of the big things that I would say is massively about taking, when you go into your doctors, if you do have any issues, one of the best things you can do is go in with pre-researched information on the options available to you for what you're feeling. Like, go in prepared. I've done this for myself. I've done it for my daughter. And every time I go in prepared with kind of arguments for what I know they're going to come back with, I 99% of the time get put through to what it is that I want to get put through to. And then obviously stuff gets fixed and actually gets dealt with properly. Whereas if you don't fight and you let them fob you off, you've only got yourself to blame really for that, because it's more than likely what's going to happen unless you've got a very good doctor who's very proactive. And a lot of these doctors are a little bit kind of underwhelmed in their job. So, it is good to kind of to wake their asses up and challenge them a little bit. So yeah. And he's back.
So what was I saying?
He was saying that so he come in, he was hobbling over, he was 25.
He came in, because we went on about the sciatic nerve.
And then the sciatic nerve,
Right.
it might be piriformis
Let's just
issue.
story now then. So it could be piriformis syndrome, it could be X, Y, and Z. I'm seeing what's going on. What I did, I released all the soft tissue around his hips and his hamstrings and his quads and his lower back. He felt a little bit better, he had a bit of relief, but obviously I said to him, listen, it looks like you've done some structural damage to your spine. Like, it could be like a bulging disc or something. What I would advise is, I'll give you some rehab to do. Go try these stretches, go try these movements. Don't do anything that loads the spine or any hinging. Just do leg extensions, leg curl. Just keep these muscles fresh and see what happens. And then if that doesn't work, do a structural reset. This is what no one knows about. It's a structural reset is completely doing nothing. Okay? We try to do so much, just stop. Have a week off from everything. Let your body rest and just do what it needs to do. Keep your diet up, get some good sleep, de-stress and relax and see how your body responds. He wasn't getting any better. So now I said to him, look, and then your next case is go to the GP and then ask for a scan, because this is your last resort now, because nothing's working, and physically wise, physical therapy. Goes to the GP, okay. Bear in mind, this guy's had this for 2 months. Goes to the GP and he goes, yeah, so the GP told me that it was a muscle tear. And I said, you had it for 2 months. He goes, yeah. And his girlfriend said to the GP while she was there, how do you know it's a muscle tear? By just looking at him.
Oh, he hadn't touched him?
No.
Not made any movements?
Yeah, the GP said to
Red
him,
flag.
oh, well, we just know these things. Okay? So then...
So he's a magician?
Yeah, so he comes back to me and tells me... I said to him, listen, brother, it is not a fucking muscle tear, okay? You like, the way you're in... I said, listen, if it was a muscle tear minor, all right, it would have got better. You would feel a lot better after a month, all right? If it was completely off the bone, you would fucking know, okay?
And also, you should be going for an MRI.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and your leg would be black, all right? I said, listen, so it's not going to be any of those. And I said, but if the GP said to him, just carry on training.
Jesus Christ.
And carry on doing what you're doing.
With a muscle tear, that's dumb advice.
With a muscle tear, yeah, you can train around it and get some blood flow there, not go crazy. But he just said, go train, because it's going to keep it blood flow there. And I was like, bro, listen, you haven't got this. So then he come back in, I gave him some rehab to do, so go do that for a little bit, come back. He was getting a little bit better, but he's still, bad. Yeah. He said, compared to when he first walked in, I saw him a month later, he wasn't as bad as that.
How far down the road was he when he came to you?
Oh, fucking hell. Like,
he'd already had it 2 months at that point.
Should have been in A&E.
So he'd already had it 2 months when he came to you?
Oh, yeah, sorry, he had 2 months. 2 months he's been like that for now.
But did he come to you after 2 months of having it? Right.
2 months.
So he's already...
Now
so the only relief he felt from you then will have been the compensation relief.
So we released the muscles that were getting, they weren't fucking, he wasn't firing them.
They're only getting tight because of the compensation with his movements, yeah.
So then what happened was, where were we? Yeah, so basically he goes away again and he comes back, and because he gave him all his rehab to do. And then he come back this one time and he just plateaued with his progression, and he still had this like nerve issue, and he said his hamstrings was fucked. I said, mate, listen, this is funny. You got 3 options now, okay? Option 1, you go to GP and you demand a scan, and you'll wait 6 fucking months for the scan. You're gonna be in this pain. Option 2, you go and pay for a scan, all right? 250 quid, whatever.
Yeah.
I said, well, option 3, you go to A&E and you walk in like you did when you first met me and tell him what your issues are, all right? And he said you have to milk it because they need to. This is not good, man. You're getting nowhere with this. I forgot I told him that because I had my next client. Then this is so funny.
So you just forked in the road this bloke and then went, oh, got another client. See you in a bit.
No. But obviously we finished our point. No, I didn't like when I say I forgot. I'm told this. So basically, told him all that. He went on his way. and then that's it.
Well, obviously, leave your brain. It's not your body. You've given your best advice you can, and then you carry on with your day. It's not going to stick in your head, is it?
No, what I'm trying to say, no, let me finish this. Let me finish this. Basically, so then when I say I forgot about it, it's because I woke up the next, I did all my appointments after that, let's say 5 appointments after that, trained, went to bed, woke up, had a lie-in because I had a late start. It's about 12 p.m. now, okay? I saw him around 10 a.m. the day before.
All right.
I get a
24-hour period gone, yeah?
Get a message. Because obviously I'm there just like, making a coffee, chilling, listening to some music, listening with my soundbar, yeah?
Just a selfie from hospital.
I'm just chilling. Wait, bro, ruining it. And then I'm chilling, and then I get a message saying, brother, I have just had the most intense 20 hours of my life. Sends me a picture of his arm with cannulas. He goes, I went, straight after you said that, I went to A&E, okay, told him what you said, and they rushed me into... They rushed me, got cannula on me. They said, don't fucking eat, don't do this. And then he goes, I've just had my MRI. I'm waiting for my results. He goes, brother, you are the man. I've got my scan. I've got to wait for my results now.
So he did it.
And I was laughing because he goes, I just told him that I walked in, I lifted a tool at work that day and done my back in, which he should have done because that's exactly what he did 2 months ago. But he didn't, but he still had the same pain. So it's valid. And now he's waiting for his scan. I'm laughing. Bro, you're still there. He goes, I've started laughing at this. I said, you actually did it. He goes, yeah. He goes, I just want to say thank you because now I've got my scan. So he got his scan. They come back and they say he's got a degenerative disc.
Ooh.
He's got, obviously he's got a disc.
What's his job?
Huh? He works at a factory doing some heavy lifting.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
And he's got a bulging disc or herniated disc. So basically, and now they said he might need operation. And I'm like, brother, the last thing you want right now is an operation. Because listen, if you have an operation now and 5 years down the line from now, we discover something that can be cured without operation, yeah, you can't go back.
That's fucking good advice.
Yeah. And I said...
Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, and he said about you can have an injection. So these are the last things you want. These are your last resorts. I said, you know what it is now. These discs, you can cure these things through physical therapy and rest and changing your diet and sleeping well. I said, and the doctor actually, this is a good doctor. He actually said to him, we don't think you need surgery. You're young.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And I was there going, he's telling you all the right advice now. And now he's got his scan X, Y, and Z. So now he's obviously, he sent me a message saying, they want to operate. But fuck these doctors, bro. I ain't doing that. I said, I don't trust these fuckers. I was laughing. But he's now going down the holistic route of, let the body heal it. Okay?
Yeah.
But obviously he has work to do. But what he could have done is had the operation, okay? But the doctor, which I'm happy said to him...
Which a lot of people would have jumped, because operation is a big deal. So if a doctor to you says you need an operation, most people think, holy shit, this is really serious, I need that operation. But going back to the what you said before, don't have it if you don't need it, because, you don't know how much progression we're going to get in 5 years. Ronnie Coleman, one of the greatest bodybuilders ever, had his spine fused without even getting a second opinion. You know that?
Yeah.
So Ronnie Coleman is the way he is now, which is fucked. Like, the guy's he is basically in a wheelchair all the time. The times you see him on a bench or doing things, he's been picked up and put there. The dude can't walk, can't stand. He's in agony all the time. All because one doctor decided to fuse some of his spine that probably now they would not have done. They would have probably put in an artificial disc. He would probably still have way more mobility, way less issues, probably less pain.
Yeah.
And simply because he just took the straight advice of one singular person.
It's so sad.
It is. And he was top of the game.
Yeah.
So how was a nobody, if somebody, because Ronnie was rich by this point. He'd made millions. So how is somebody who'd made millions not protected at that level? It's bizarre, isn't it?
It's sad because, like, if you listen to this now, and you're actually going through this stuff, process of elimination. Please exhaust all possibilities before you go under the knife, okay? Because you can then say, listen, I tried everything. I tried everything to my best knowledge, so you can validate why you had that surgery, okay? But like you said, went straight in.
Yeah.
It's shit. But so this guy now, he's positive. He goes, listen, I'm positive. I want to book in with you with the rehab, get going from there. and see if we can work with from there. And what we're doing, we're learning as we're going along, because he's a good case study, because I've got a similar issue, but he's way worse than me.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's good because when I'm learning about mine, I give back to him, and then we can see from there what progressions we can get from this issue. But what the best thing is now, we know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because we got.
And herniated discs can heal.
Yes,
They can heal. This is what a lot of people don't think, because a lot of people think that like a slipped disc, they're called, aren't they? They call them slipped discs. It makes it sound like there's something that's actually moving in and out of a spot, but it's not. When these discs go, what happens is I'm not going to say it's technically correct, but essentially, if you imagine each disc inside in our discs is a sponge-like, gel-like material, or
inside
organic
the disc,
matter.
there's a thing called the nucleus, which is the fluid.
Yeah, so we have in these discs. So when they bulge, what happens is, because that fluid is obviously able to be compressed, if they're in the wall of the disc, if there's a rupture, that then is able to bulge outside. It's like, imagine, so you ever get one of those like squishy stress toys, and it's a circle, and you squeeze it, and the bit where it sticks out between your fingers goes bloop. Yeah. That's what the disc is doing.
Yeah, and that's where you have the nerves that run down the side. Yeah. That fluid will touch that nerve, okay, and it can pinch it, and that's why it sends that shit down your leg, okay. Yep. I haven't had a scan, but all my symptoms are explaining what I've got, but mine's very minor. So, for example, if I didn't train, I could live with this and not even notice it. Well, because I do certain movements, it pisses it off. But some people literally bedbound, okay.
Yeah, it can be horrendous.
It's fucking awful. But yeah, you can get better. You have to have that belief in yourself, and you have to move forward, like.
So what protocols have you put in place for him to help heal this?
So basically, what you have to do with this is learn his pain, this is what people don't understand. They think there's the 5 best exercises for disc bulges. No. You need to find the right ones for you. So for example, what I will do for mine, it might piss his off. We have to find what's the best for him and where it is and what issue and what vertebrae is bulging, or was it the S1, S2, or was it near like the L5?
So then after that, do you have them avoid certain movements and focus on other ones? And so you're still building that rear chain mechanism and mechanics, but avoiding the stress on that singular disc.
This would be the advice, okay?
Just a baseline advice, because obviously we don't know everyone's specific issue.
If you are bedbound, just listen to your doctor. They're going to give you the most stripped back stuff going, okay? When you can start to move and start to rotate, okay, what you want to be doing, okay, is doing your basic blood flow movement around that disc, okay? You have to stay hydrated, okay? Because if you've got a degenerated disc, that's because it's lack of water hitting there, okay? Let me get some blood flow there. You got to start to get it moving. You got to investigate your pain and find out, okay, cool, actually, doing these scorpions, scorpion stretch, okay? That's actually, there's no pain there. Good. Start to incorporate that. You're going to start incorporating blood flow. Try your twists with your knees, okay? But if you notice pain, stop. Because you're learning it, okay? You're learning what actually pisses off and what doesn't piss off. The big things you want to, build, though, whilst trying to rehab that, is build up your core strength. Heavy planks, okay? Your bird dogs, your Supermans, okay? And also your posterior chain, your erector spinal muscles, you get them super strong. So do your basics, lie on the floor, lie flat down. You got to lock your knees out, so squeeze your quads. This is important. Push your feet away, try and stretch your body out. Then you do the scorpion stretch, and if you have the strength, okay, take your hands away and hold that stretch, because that will activate all your erector spinae muscles, okay? And that goes right down that spine. Get them super strong, okay? If you can, start doing glute bridges, hip thrusts, because what you're doing here, you're building up the stability, the muscles that stabilize the pelvis and the core, that stabilizes the spine and the pelvis. All these muscles keep it strong. If you get these strong and learn how to use them when you are lifting weights again, what you can do is activate and pre-activate them and use them to so you don't actually aggravate that disc, and you give that chance to that disc to start to heal, okay? It's a big thing. If you keep pissing it off, it's like picking a scab. Great analogy is, if you break your leg, okay, I can start to move it now. It feels a bit better. You don't fucking go and run on it. You don't go and load it straight away.
Like trampoline.
You slow and steady. You're patient. But we can't see this pain. That's the thing. We can only feel it. The leg, we can see it's fucking fucked, yeah? So we think, actually leave that alone, right? But because we can't see this, I'm only speaking from my experiences here, I did the same. It feels good. Let's go back into something. Flared up. Made it worse.
Yeah, because you get overexcited.
And again. I did 3-4 times, and I've had to now completely say stop.
I would say another great thing as well is when you get hurt, and you touched on this, you said work your core. So people are like, hurt my back, they're thinking about their back. But you need to think about all the things that come into play that support the muscle that's injured. So a lot of times injuries can occur in one muscle because another one's been weak and not done its support job, or you've not trained that mechanism in during a movement to be able to brace that muscle that supports. So when you do get hurt, don't go back and do the same dumb shit again and expect it not to happen. Like that is the epitome of crazy thinking. If something's not been a fluke, like, you've not rolled your ankle on something or fallen over or whatever it is. If you've done a basic movement and hurt yourself, it's because something hasn't braced properly. Or you've been pushing the boundary for too long and you just got unlucky now, and you ran out of luck and it came to and now you've got the realization there's something wrong here. So hurt back, think about strengthening the core. Hurt shoulders, think about your chest, think about your scapula. Like, don't just think about the singular area that's damaged, because that's where people fall foul of repeat injuries over and over again. And don't get me wrong, like, there's not going to be a single fix like we found with me. You fix one part of the shoulder, you realize that all the things that were compensating for so long because of that issue in the shoulder, they then themselves might flare up with some nerve trapping or some firing issues and things like that. So you can sometimes be chasing a number of issues, but by the time you get through them all, not only have you healed what was wrong, but you've actually improved all your mechanisms and your own knowledge and your own mobility along the way. And that is what keeps you healthy.
Brilliant.
So every injury essentially is a learning curve.
And there's one thing which people don't understand either, or don't actually take into consideration, is you have to remember, how fucking shit is your diet and what the fuck are you eating? Because one big thing that people look at is anti-inflammatories. If you're eating so much shit in your diet that causes so much inflammation, this disc wants to heal, but you're fucking throwing shit down your mouth, okay? You're not going to heal as efficient as you actually considering what you're eating. Like, start to look into holistic remedies, like look into turmeric and stuff like that, which is massive anti-inflammatory. All these certain foods.
There's Indians for years been stirring turmeric into milk. Or milk with turmeric. It's a common thing drunk over there, and it is a massive anti-inflammatory. And the point with inflammatories is even more pronounced now. There's been so much investigation into all these processed food. Like, the stuff that goes into things we buy from the supermarket is insane. So simplify your diet. Make your life easier by batch cooking things, which means that you can buy some more simplistic ingredients, but create larger meals so that you don't have to cook every single meal at the time you want to eat it. That's going to stop you jumping on I'll just get something that's quick and easy, just something out of the packet, just something that's processed. Get away from that, especially if you're hurt, because you're right. These food, what we put in our body is our fuel, and what you put in your body, you will react to. So reduce your sugars down. That's a huge thing. Simplistic sugars, reduce those down. Doesn't mean you can't have them at all. This is the thing, people go to extreme. I still have cane sugar in my coffee, but I avoid tons of white bread. I avoid excessive carbohydrates. I focus more on proteins and fats, and I try and get those from simplistic sources. Now, as a man, I know it's easier because we can eat the same thing day after day after day and don't seem to get bored. We're less emotional with it, I think, especially when you're in a rhythm. Ladies, you tend to want to make things more exciting because you have more emotional bond with food. So, do it to your own levels. And, but yeah, the main thing is simplify things, batch cook. And in terms of supplementation, if you're hurt, the biggest things I can tell you to take would be a zinc picolinate, collagen, 10 to 20 grams a day. Collagen's huge. We should all be taking collagen before we take protein, in my opinion. We should all be taking collagen. And for some reason, it's not branding, I guess. We don't do it. Collagen's cheap and easy to buy, 10 to 20 grams a day. It's what our tendons and ligaments are based on. So you put collagen in, you're going to heal, you're going to be healed. But English Lex, you're going to heal faster. But also with your collagen, take 500 milligrams of vitamin C alongside it, makes it more bioavailable. So all these little tricks can help. And then if you want to go further down the line, if you really are struggling, I would advise off your own back, go do your own research. But for me personally, BPC 157 has been amazing, and it is completely legal, doesn't fuck up your hormones or anything like that, and you can obviously go and research that yourselves, but that is another one that you can go down the route prior to surgery if things are quite bad. But I mean, I healed my bicep in 8 or 9 weeks instead of 6 to 12 months. Now, not fully healed, but back to be able to go training. Then it was literally to the point where the doc wanted to use me as a case study because they were so impressed with the speed at which I healed.
You've got to, and the last little bit you need to do is literally you need to believe in it. You got to believe in this will get better. Okay,
That's true. Yeah.
it's one of the biggest things is you have to believe in what you're doing, because you will hit days where you think this isn't working. But like, for example, we've just listed off quite a lot of things for the process of elimination. Have you tried all these things? Because if not, and you go straight into that knife, okay,
that's it.
there's one thing that
you're right.
Gonna, oh, you know what? Maybe I've actually just was a bit more patient. Patience is your big one as well, because this isn't going to be a 2-week thing. It's going to be a 1-month thing. You're talking about a year, okay? But a year, you will get better each time over that year. But you got to remember, you're still healing. This is all lessons to me as well, because I do the similar and go, fuck, shit, pissed off again. Mitchell, remember, you're still healing. Okay? Yeah, you remember, you're never going back. You're not going back to your old ways. You're not going back to how you used to be. You're moving forward, meaning when you go back to training and it has healed, you now have this core activation, your back is stronger, you lift differently now, you're more wise, you have wisdom. And then what you do, you can educate the people who are fucking idiots in the gym at 18, who will just throw weights around like no tomorrow. Oh, no, I'll be fine. Everyone's fine until they get fucking hurt.
Yeah, because at 18 you're still made of elastic. But no, that's it. And to remember that the thing is, if you do this properly, by the end of that timeline, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is, you're not just going to be back at your baseline. You're going to be better. So yet you'll have healed, but you'll also have improved along the way. So it's not like you're just getting back to a zero. You will have gained so much knowledge and so much improvement along the way that by the time you are healed, your progression from that point will be, it'll be infinite in comparison to if you kept going the same way you were before and just luckily didn't get hurt. Mm-hmm. I think that's good. Yeah.
But we obviously going to make a video on this in a bit more detail with the worst pain.
Yeah. Which I have no idea how he's going to do, but I assume it involves you making me go,
Well, I'll show you how we'll treat it. And you'll pretend you have a disc issue, but I'll explain to a client how it would work and then what exercise you can do.
And then we'll see what pain I feel from not having a disc issue and see how bad it is in comparison. To see what you feel just generally. Never mind having the disc.
Yeah, well, it's more just about an educational one as well, because this is important.
Because even healing the disc, you're still going to release everything that's going to improve the lift. So we could do a squat prior, then retest it afterwards and watch the whole movement and see how everything frees up.
Yeah.
And then what we could do is see what would happen if he kept going the way he was. There'd be pressure here, but now we've changed this from this release motion. You can see how the back has adjusted in the core, and that's exactly what we're looking for in that healing process.
You can show literally, what's it called? Being proactive to stop it happening.
Yes.
Okay.
How to avoid a burst donut disc.
Yes, if you look at a donut and you squeeze it, that's exactly what a disc bulge would look like. Okay?
Lovely. Well done, mate.
God
that's a good chat.
bless.
So as always, thank you for joining us, and all Mitchell's links in the description. If you need to book in with him, he has a tippity-tappity website that you can do so, and you can go and get healed before going under the knife. And his Instagram and everything will be there as well. And thank you all for joining us. We shall catch you in the next one. And also, if you're asking questions on things like that, we are paying attention to them. We're just recording these we're retroactive, is that the right word? Retrospective. We're pre-recording all of these, so by the time they come out, we're already 2 ahead of you. So stick in there. We will get round to answering your questions, but it'll be 2 episodes after you've asked them. Cool. Right. We'll catch you next one. A boom, baby.